every Nigerian mum knows everything is so expensive. Every naira needs to work harder. That's why I always go back to So Clean.
New So Clean with Snow Powder Tech. The powder is finer,
so it dissolves easier, foams faster, and cleans better.
Every grain works for you. Nothing's wasted.
New So Clean detergent with Snow Powder Tech. Every grain works for you.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still reviewing Vanguard.
Yeah, so I have the story of the ports. They said the Apapa port due to the heavy congestion. They said the Nigerian Ports Authority has temporarily suspended the release of cleared cargoes from the Apapa port complex due to congestion issues currently affecting the port. They said this congestion created a bottleneck in the port, delaying the flow of goods and hampering both local and international trade activities. And also, they said the operators have not been able to ensure that there should be smooth movement of these cargoes, and also have started charging demurrage fees on the ones that are delayed, and this has proved that they are inefficient in their ways. So, but now the port management is now saying that they are going to monitor these activities and monitor the situation, and very soon they are going to open. So we should all exercise patience and just wait for them to get things in order before they open the ports once again.
So yesterday, President Joe Biden made a call to our president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and thanked him for stopping, for the federal government for stopping the criminal prosecution of Binance executive, Tigran Gambaryan, for money laundering charges while supporting Nigeria's quest for a United Nations Security Council seat. He was saying that, if you recall the story that happened where Gambaryan, who is a U.S. citizen, was arrested on a business trip to Nigeria alongside his a counterpart, I think it was a British Kenyan, Nadine Njawala. And his company, according to the reports, was charged with money laundering of $35.4 million and tax evasion, which they both denied. However, so for Biden to call, this was really beautiful for the president. So Biden also he said that he has actually also will support Nigeria in their quest on a permanent seat on the United Nations Security Council, especially with the country's leadership roles in Africa and peacekeeping efforts and sacrifices across the globe. So I think that's a key thing that Nigeria is really looking forward to, and we'll see how that goes.
So sad story coming from Niger State, in particular the military training ground, military training camp. It's the largest military training camp within the area, and it's called the Nagwamase Military Cantonment in Kutangora local headquarters of Kutangora local government area of Niger State, and it was ransacked by bandits. They've taken over the entire military training camp, and they said it has affected and displaced 23 communities because the training camp leans into about 23 communities, and it has affected them. One of the state members representing Kutangora, the State House of Assembly, had to move a very urgent motion asking that there should be a lot of support to ensure they clear out that area, that bandits have taken over the training ground. And according to him, communities within the training grounds have come under heavy attack, that bandits are operating with impunity. Some members of the community were abducted and taken into the bandits' den. He said that he has asked and cried out to the government to make decisive action towards flushing out the terrorists from the camps. They have rule over that camp right now, and they said that they are also asking for support of modern equipment for the military to support them in flushing out the armed men that seem to have more ammunition at the moment, and they are in the training camp, and they want to restore peace to all the 23 communities. Our heart goes out to all of them. Many of them, according to the representative, said that this is their ancestral homes, their farms, their businesses, and they've had to abandon all these things for the risk of being kidnapped if they come back to their places. So they should reach out to them and support them and flush out the bandits.
Yeah. I
You know,
have a story.
sorry,
Vanguard, right? Yes. So the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, yesterday adjusted the price of premium motor spirit, that's PMS, also known as Petrol, to 1,025 naira per litre from 998 naira per litre in Lagos and the environs. So the price of the product has risen to 1,060 naira from 1,030 naira, and this is like the third increase in the price of products in 2 months. So they said the latest increase came as the price of Nigeria's Bonny light crude dropped to $72 per barrel from 75 per barrel, indicating a shortfall of 8.2% against the 77.96 per barrel reference of the price of 2024 budget. So in Lagos filling stations, immediately they said a lot of filling stations closed down. You know, they were trying to adjust their pump price to reflect the new rates, and everybody's complaining. So people have been speaking up against this. Experts are reacting against this. The development yesterday caused the Center for Promotion of Private Enterprise, CCPE, Dr. Muda Yusuf, to react, saying that the decision is driven by deregulation, but Nigeria should also think of other considerations, especially now that Nigerians are suffering, to see how they can cushion the effects of this. So I don't know, on one hand, we're saying let's market forces decide. On another hand, we want to go back to subsidy somehow just to help Nigeria. So I say I'm confused.
Yeah, you can see it's not easy being a leader.
Yes,
I'm telling you.
it's not easy, honestly.
I don't understand. Anyway, let's move on.
People are suffering.
It's so, when somebody's Nigerian Tribune, not talk. Dangote blames Petrol queues on marketers. State of states. Now how Naira devaluation exposed many states to greater financial risk. Terrorists preventing electricity restoration in the north, Deputy Senate President says. Timothy Adegoke, appeal court reserves judgment on ex-OAU students killing. Sanwo-Olu denies suing EFCC. Why I can't transfer Rivers case from Abuja to Port Harcourt, says FHC-CG. And the APC suspends Aregbesola. Which story are we taking?
Yeah, so I wanted to say, in addition to what the story you took earlier on that Niger, wherever, saying bandits, yes, so it's part of the reason why there's total blackout in the north.
Yes.
It's because of these bandits. Yeah, they vandalized it, and people are trying to go and fix it. They can't even gain access to those areas where they can go and fix the light, because they said that they have to wait. They have to go with security personnel, military people, to get them to where the poles are to do the repairs and all. But then, because of these bandits, they said there was a time they laid a siege on them, and they almost kidnapped some of the TCN workers. Wow. You see all this. So that's the reason why we have this blackout for a very long time. Yeah. So the northerners, the governors, and all, we all have to come together and fight this banditry. We must do that before that region can move forward. As it is right now, with that banditry, a lot of things will keep going wrong. Okay. And that's why we don't have this light for a very long time. Yeah, so I have the story on the state of states. It is a hot topic.
State of states.
The states of Nigerian states.
Okay.
It is when I say hot topic, like we should bring the budget people to come and break it down, because the statistics are very shocking, jarring rather, as well. The headline is talking about the fact that when they devalue the Naira, many states are owing foreign loans, which, because our money has devalued, the loans now loom huge. Like, it's now becoming bigger and higher, and the ability to pay off those loans look even worse for many of the states. Lagos ranks #1 in terms of debts that we are owing. However, Lagos also ranks among the top 5 of states that are generating internal revenue enough to cover their bills. So Port Harcourt is #1. Port Harcourt, Rivers State is #1. They've been #1 for a while, and they've maintained their IGR as #1, as also management of their funds as #1. So
that isn't always the problem.
Yes, the ability to pay. Yeah. So Banditry is advising that the states need to get more creative and not take foreign loan. And they are acknowledging, I must say, they celebrated the fact that all the states right now are not taking extra loans, foreign loans. So obviously it means that they could have managed themselves then
before,
because they didn't need it. But they said they acknowledged the fact that they didn't take any loan. Health funding, many states allocate money to health and without matching up the fund. They don't release the fund. Specifically, Edo, Ekiti, Katsina, Ondo, no spending in 2023 on the health sector. As in the state of states is a report Nigerians should be aware of, because we point to federal government without realizing that many things we need to do happens within the states. Majority of our states are dependent 100% on internally generated revenue. They cannot, like, they need a few, just a few states, about 5 states can times 5 their revenue before they can survive. So it obviously shows where the problem is, that our governors need to get more creative in how they solve the problems within their states. And it is very difficult problem to solve. But that's why they have, we have billions of Nigerians, and there are many of them that are willing to come and help with the solving without any corruption involved. If you would involve them, bring them in, get their solution, get the data from budget. Don't look at it as an attack on your government, but as data for you to work with to improve the services of your state.
We don't have time.
You want one more story here? Go ahead.
Yeah, so the Lagos State Governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, has denied suing the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission over an alleged plan to arrest and prosecute him after leaving office. We saw a viral letter, on social media. So the rebuttal signed by his counsel, Lawal Pedro, SAN, was made available to the paper yesterday evening, and he stressed that the governor at no time sued or briefed any legal practitioner to file a suit on his behalf concerning the matter. It reads, our attention has been drawn to the news circulating in a section of the media entitled Sanwo-Olu sues EFCC over alleged plan to prosecute him after tenure. And they said nothing of that has happened. However, investigations would be carried out to find out how that was even said to the media, who made the news known when something like this did not happen in the first place.
So my final story, APC has suspended former Minister of Interior, Rauf Agberegbesola, APC chapter in Osun State. According to them, they were saying that Agberegbesola was accused of factionalizing the APC by forming the Omoluabi Caucus splinter group, allegedly collaborating with opposition parties to destabilize the APC in Osun State. Other offenses include publicly criticizing party leaders, including the president and Chief Bisi Akonde, immediate past Osun State Governor Boyega Oyetola, and others. I didn't realize criticism can actually earn you suspension. But it says that refusing to participate in and or support in APC activities. These are interesting. These are politics, but he's been suspended from the Osun State APC chapter. That's all we can take on Front Page Review this morning. When we come back, move on to our next segment. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Welcome to Pure Entertainment. What would you like to order from our menu today? We have the regular.
So let me go and look for my jam results.
My 280 was 320. I suppose don't be one medical.
At this point, I contest my jam results.
I want to close the show.
I can go. I can.
Okay, that's all we can take. Ejeki, close the show,
Ladies and gentlemen, #1 unavailable by Davido featuring Musa Keys.
We also have today's chef special.
Yo, shine, 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 shiny, yeah. Say recap done, and it's time for #1 on the countdown. One of Nigeria's hottest artists right now, his name is Rema, and this one is called Charm. Kick it.
Another.
For dessert and a bit of nightcap, we have the nighttime and online specials.
I want to start the gym, yeah? But do you know one thing that's actually keeping me back? You should start the gym to get fat. Cricket.
She says she does pole dancing to empower women.
What's the difference? There's a difference.
That's what I'm saying. So pole dancer,
you're already almost naked. You're already almost naked.
No, it's the empowerment for me.
Sex can make a relationship better.
No.
Sex can never be overrated.
It is needed.
Especially when it's good sex too.
Almost every guy has been with somebody's girlfriend.
But they are for all of us now.
That's why you're still single.
I would not agree or disagree with that because I don't want to get into trouble. I have a home to go to.
Your next question.
Oh, you ready to fail?
Who is the person that used to us? What is his name?
That woman.
Bam! Bam!
Yeah, today we'll go here.
Hey!
Let's catch up now.
I'm sure we've been able to satisfy your cravings, yeah? Stay good.
treatment for diarrhea. This message is from the Anrin Project.
Thanks for staying with us. So there's a story that caught our attention on social media about a young woman who is a newly married woman. Now, so we are practically just advising young, because we are experienced, we've tried,
veterans.
We are veterans, 10 years now. We don't do at least minimum, everybody here 10 years.
Yes,
Minimum. So we can, these ones are just newlywed. Husband is 32, wife is 27, and they are together. Now, she, according to her, she earns 6 times his salary. He works in the government, he works for the government, so he's not earning as much as she is, but she's earning quite a bit. Now, they've been 3 months gone in this relationship, in this marriage, and he's suggesting they have a joint account, put everything together in one basket. Now, the reason why she's skeptical is because she's saying that she has responsibilities in her own family, her sisters, who she's taking care of, and she doesn't want to see whereby she has a joint account where she's constantly having to explain or defend what she's spending with her money. So she had suggested something I had actually advocated for in the past, where in the beginning, where both of us have our personal accounts, then we have a third account and we are putting money into for projects and everything. So both of us have access to that account, but we still have our personal account. But he's saying that we are a couple now. All things have become one. The two shall become one. That everything should become a joint account. So she's now putting out that should she agree to a joint account. Now, because the ladies of your view are veterans in this system, institution, we thought it would be an interesting conversation to have, so you can offer your experience to this woman. You can also share your thoughts with us, because it would be nice to hear from our mothers, especially those of you in the 50s, that we are 50, 55, 60. You did it in the past. How was it? Advise us too. Should we start considering joint account, or should we consider separation? Let us know. Call us on 081 0764 1679. 0902416344. You can also send us messages on YouTube and on X. We're happy to read it. Let me start with Ramatu on this. Ramatu, let me take you jump in.
First of all, Islamically is not even allowed.
Oh, really?
Yes, you can't have a joint account with your husband.
Because,
yes, because the money you earn as a woman is your own money.
Wow.
It's not for the house. The taking care of the house is the man's full responsibility. Oh, man. Except you want to, you know, of course, as a woman that, you know, a woman that is concerned and all, she can decide and say, okay, let me contribute and support. Yes.
For real.
So that's number one. Number two, I don't think in this thing, Nigeria like this, having joint account, I don't think it will work. You know why he's proposing that, he's agreeing to that, is because she earns more than him. So it's okay. Say it was the other way around. I don't think he will suggest that. He will suggest that. And I agree with you where you said that they can have a central, a common account, but then they can all go and have their own private accounts so that they'll be able to solve issues and all that. But then there was a time, I know of one of my friends that did something like that. Had a joint account, yes, with her husband. You know, at some point they trusted each other, you know. It's so interesting when, you know, that beginning part, in love, everything, you know, when they want to withdraw money, this person will call, I want to use money for this, you know, I know.
Very sweet.
At some point, trust issues entered. And then, you know what she did? She withdrew that entire money, took off with the child. Up till today, the guy does not know where the wife is.
Wow.
So those are the risks. You can see this kind of risk that is involved in things like this.
Women jump in. Let me put another angle to this.
Okay.
There is also a story of a woman who had a joint account with her husband because she trusted him fully and completely. She married a person that she believes was her leader, a father figure in her life, and somebody who was smart enough. And she never regretted it. And she will tell you till tomorrow that it was the best decision she made, because she felt that she didn't have enough exposure to make the right financial decisions for her, because he was a very high-level financial person working in a bank. So she trusted him. Now, he also loved her enough to provide money for her to make sure that upkeep, her own personal welfare was taken care of. So it was, for her, it was a big headache off her to worry about finances. So in that home, it worked, and she's in her 50s. So when she's talking to people, she's encouraging them because of her own experience. So now,
I feel like you are preempting where we are going to go with this conversation.
I'm just trying to let you see the two sides.
Okay.
She has given one side and given another side.
So okay, for me, I feel that statistically, what destroys and causes divorce in most marriages is actually more of money than sex.
Yeah, sure.
More of money than sex. So ability to manage money, oh God, money is a very good servant, it's a bad master. And it can reveal things that we did not know about ourselves. When money is involved, we need to be extra careful. Conversations around money are best had before the money comes in. Yeah. Once you're already in the marriage and money is already flowing, expenses are happening, and then you're introducing a new sharing formula or a new expense model, there's always going to be issue. Now, even the North and the Northern Governors Forum are all united in the way VAT should not be shared, because the sharing is, you are changing the sharing formula. Yeah. So this is going to likely lead to issues because there is an already existing system. And for it to change from someone and being proposed by someone who seems to be earning less, everything the person says will be suspect. If the information was coming from her that she's earning more, let's have a joint account. If he was earning more and says let's have a joint account, it will be different. But if the person earning less is proposing joint account, even with all good intention from his part, everybody would assume he is eyeing our money, which might not be the truth.
Exactly.
He might be a better money manager. And I think in every relationship, the best money manager manages the money for the house. And everybody submits to the leadership of the best money manager. Being a money manager does not mean you are the man. Masculinity does not give you ability to manage money. It just gives you ability to lead. You should be leading as the husband.
So a joint account is possible if both of them are united in saying that you're a better money manager, I trust you to handle it.
Exactly. And even at that, I feel that joint account should not be fiat. It shouldn't be everything you earn, everything I earn into this joint account.
That's the meaning.
For marriage to work, each person must be a complete unit.
Yes.
You can't have a united front if everything, I want to buy pin, it must run through you. Every decision must run through you. It would stretch the decision capacity of that relationship. That's why top CEOs, they say they wear one out. Some people wear just one outfit for many years so that they're not having to think about what we're doing all the time. Every single thing, I want to buy these shirts. Mr. Mark, what do you think? Should I buy purple? Should I buy green? It will lead to issues. A conversation should be had, but not from the perspective of let's join our accounts together 100%. What she suggested is wisdom. Let's have an account, and I think you've mentioned it several times, several years ago on the show. Let's have a joint account that we contribute into. That we then spend for family expenses. You have your accounts to do the things you want to do, which would not make sense to me. What I spend on wig does not make sense. What my husband spends on shoe, I cannot understand it. So we are allowed to still express our individuality even while united in the joint account.
You see, what would you say? This is a newly couple. You want to advise them? They're the auntie.
Big auntie vibes.
See, I would not like to you people here, right? I would tell this auntie, please, don't try it. Why do I say so? We are in Africa, first of all, and me, I do not believe I'm an independent woman. I always say that here. I believe that my man should be able to provide for me. Where he cannot, I can step in and help him. Of course, we are playing for the same team. When one person falls, instead of you to go outside to go and borrow the money, I will cover that shame. Nobody will know. You can pay me back later. You will definitely pay me back later. I will collect my money, right? But I can step in. That's why I'm there as well. But for us to have a certain type of peace in that home, I should have an opportunity to be able to use my money the way I see fit without, like Tokwe rightly said, having to tell you everything I want to buy, having to take permission for everything I want to buy. I want to buy Maggi, I will take permission. I see one fine thing that my colleagues are buying, and I say, wait, let me go and ask my husband and say, first, it's quite embarrassing. So I should be able to use my money how I see fit. One. Secondly, I have responsibilities. That's this lady now. Who has been taking care of her family members. And we know how new marriages happen, where you say, I know, your sister is asking for money again. This person, did you not just send money to mama? Did you not just send this to mama? Why are they disturbing you? Why are they? And then you start telling me how to look after my dependents. They were there before I met you. So if she joins her money together with this man, everything that has to leave that account will be accounted for. That's one. He may also not account for everything. So I have a personal close relationship that something happened recently. They've been married for like over 10 years, and they've had this joint account where they put, this one is not like it's the only account they have where they put money together. No, it's the only account they have, joint accounts. And then something happened and she said, no, I don't want you to do this. He went ahead to do it. He cleared the account to do it. And this girl cried. This is money that they have been saving for projects for many years. We're going to do this, we're going to do that, we're going to... And something happened and he just, felt that excitement and he went ahead and blew the money. She cried and she said, I have learned the hard way. There's no way I'm going to continue with this joint account because I have suspended all... How many shoes do I have? Do I buy hair? I don't buy bags. I don't do this. I'm thinking for the family, but this person is not thinking for the family. So that can come up. That's secondly. The third one is, what did you people discuss in the 2 years you were dating? You went on a date for 2 years. You had a relationship with this person for 2 years.
Talking about money.
Why didn't you talk about money? Because if you had spoken about money, he would have told you that, we're going to have joint accounts when we marry you. Then you know that, this person that is suggesting this kind of thing, I cannot work with you. Why is he the one suggesting this joint account? Why?
Maybe because she's earning more than him. Let's look at the other side. You see, I have married you because I trust you as a leader. I trust your knowledge. I trust that you know the right thing to do. And it is honorable for me as a husband saying, my wife believes me, trusts me to handle this family.
I hope the person has the competence to handle what we are trusting him to do.
Let's assume he does, because there's some good stories. So you said that you're used to have dependents before you got married. But you have chosen me as your new leader. They say the man is the head of the family. I've all agreed.
Yes, we did.
The woman is the neck, or whatever they think that they say. So the man is the head. Now you have chosen me as your leader. I am saying right now that the way you give these guys money, we have to review it in the interest of our long-term project as a family. Yeah, I told you here that I had to sacrifice because I used to travel. I'll go to France, I'll go to London. When I married my husband, I said, this you're traveling, we have to reduce this thing. This, you can't be, we want to have house. When do we want to have this? So it was something in agreement that, okay, reduce your traveling so that we can now save money. So I'm saying all these people that depend on you, because we have our joint account, you cannot continue to give them this amount of money. This is what you can give to them, and then we are saving towards this. Now, if the man is honorable enough to adhere to the agreement, shouldn't a couple agree for that joint account?
The picture you just painted, ideally, perfectly, there should be nothing wrong with that happening. I honestly feel that way. I feel that, and sometimes we're giving, the way we install positional leadership on men, and I understand it helps us to be able to respect, but sometimes it's better when we also give that same level of positional leadership to women as well. Women are able to manage, women manage money, that have capacity to manage money. We have to gauge capacity.
More than men.
You need to have, if I can't ascertain your capacity, I'm not going to entrust you with my money. We've had good cases like this are plenty, and there are also bad cases plenty. So we cannot use one case to judge the other. We can only provide parameters for the person wearing the shoe to decide, is pinching me in front, is pinching me at the back, is pinching me in the middle, I would adjust like this. There's no one-size-fits-all when it comes to marriage. What works for me that makes my marriage sweet, you can try it and it will turn to, like, you put lemon inside, it can be a disaster. So I feel that it is very important for this lady to gauge the character of the person she married. Today, he might be earning 6 times less than you, but who is he? I've shared the story about when I married my husband. Obviously, it was not a case of money, what is available. We were owing, there was basic. I couldn't even tell my parents how much he was owing, and I got into the marriage. It was weeks after that, my mom found out that the money they spread us, we used to pay for basic, and it was, did you know? I said, I knew. I did not say it. I said, if I said it, you will not agree for me to marry him. I knew. I knew that when the money comes, I would enjoy it more than him. He's using when I use my phone finish, like next year now, when I upgrade, he will collect what is left. And it's always been like that. So there was a template, even when there was no cash, that I would have the last card in his pocket. So if such a person now says, let me do this thing for you, or entrust me with this money, I know that if the business works out, I am the biggest beneficiary of his efforts. If he has not set that template on ground, and you are giving trust, give the trust with what you can afford to lose. Same with when you're making investment. You don't invest with everything you have in a basket you don't trust. You will put small. let's see how this works. You put a little, you manage it well. Then we can then put all into that account.
So trust.
Okay, go ahead.
To me, trust can be broken.
Oh, I think I have a call. I'll come to you. Okay. Lizzie from Abuja, thanks for calling. You're live.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Something looking gorgeous.
Thank you.
I need to make more money.
So this matter. No. First of all, they need to copy before we started. So it's like changing goalposts in the middle of the game. That is one. So, but two, now that it's coming up and it is a bit suspect, she may have to do some testing. She may have to sacrifice and do some testing because she wants to have some peace. Because, like Tokwe just said, you have to test the character of this person, and money does that. The challenge is that she has to brace herself up for whatever will come up. But I think there has to be a formula. Let us test with a third account and add something to it. And that account should have money equal input. It's not because you are 6 times more, you now bring 600,000, the other person will bring 100. No. Let it be 50,000. That is like prorating. Everybody should bring equal amount. And let us see how he manages it. Because, I mean, it is Nigeria. It is Africa. The man is the leader of the home, and his friends drinking in the beer parlor will say, Oga, you have to take charge of everything. So she has third parties. She has third parties controlling her marriage. That is why that discussion didn't come up initially. So I'm talking from experience, really. And it's a funny place for her to be in early marriage, but she gets to test this man's character. That is just it.
Much lazy. So I got a message here from Mrs. Tijani. Tokwe suit is beautiful. Love her look. You are trending today.
Honestly,
you were saying something.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, yeah. So I said trust can be broken. As marriage goes on, trust can be broken. And the way I was when I was in my 20s, for example, I got married in my 20s, and we decided that we should have a joint account. You know, you were saying something about testing the character. Yes, the character may be good at this thing. What if we get into our 30s and the character decides to change? And when it changes, as long as there's divorce and we can go our separate ways, I don't think joint account is something that we should think about. Because
that's for a Muslim. When for us, divorce is not always an option. But divorce is an option.
But with a divorce,
it happens.
And divorce happens, yeah.
It's not an option, but with a divorce. So for me, how do I know that I am your priority? Exactly. You don't have to make more of the money initially, but how you take care of me with the little you have will tell me that even if the money is here, I am your priority. I can drop my life for you because I know that you will handle it with utmost care. The lady needs to check, how does he make me feel with the little he's earning? He should remove his eye from my own money first, right? I am the one supporting. I'm not the main person. In the scheme of things, or the way society has constructed it, the man should be the provider. And you're earning 100,000. In that 100,000, do you look at me and say, baby, you need to make your hair. You need to make your nails. That shoe, you've been wearing that shoe for a long time now. Don't worry.
Buy gifts for me.
Take this one, go and buy the shoe. Or I'm coming back, I buy you this, I buy you that. In that little amount of money. If he does that with his money, you can now say, baby, I'm actually earning more than you. Let's pull this money together so that we can make this plan, we can do that plan. Because you know, at the end of the day, now you go switch up the money pass. Like Tokwe was able to figure out that this man, I will enjoy this money. If today they come and say, even me, I'm not open with my money, they know. But even if they come and say, and I want to pretend like you know everything, but baby, you know everything now. I know that I am your priority. You will not do anything without asking me, even if I do not have the power to say no, but you will just ask me for that courtesy of, my wife, this is what I'm thinking of. I want to send so and so to mommy. I want to send so and so to daddy. If you can get that, then you don't have an issue in that marriage. And you hope that in the long run, nothing would happen that will change him, because we all change from time to time. But if you don't have that issue, if you're already seeing a form of selfishness where, because he feels his own money is small, he's all about himself. He's all about his own people. He does not, and he wants to take from what you have. And to protect yourself, because the marriage we have in this part of the world is not even favorable to women in the first place. If anything happens to him, he's no longer there. The family members will likely come and collect the one they think he owns and drive you away from the house. We've had this. No. We've had those, and then let me just land this. We've had those experiences, and that's why your mothers will tell you, no matter what you have, hide some here, hide some there, because of the experiences they have seen. And I will appreciate that a man who truly loves his wife will not tell him, bring everything you have, let's put it together. Keep some. I don't want to know where it is. Just have something that just gives you a form of confidence and independence. If anything happens to me, while we're still thinking and waiting to go to the bank for a next of kin, you should have something to at least take care of yourself and take care of the children.
When young people hear this, they get scared of this thing.
As in, even me, I'm looking at all of us.
What is the reality? They get scared of this institution called marriage.
Why? I disagree with. I hear us, but we are talking from the. We're talking from the perspective of the beating, the environmentally, the societal, the story of that woman, that story of broken woman, suffered, hustled with the man, thrown out of the house. We're not speaking about the majority of women who have lived off their husbands all their life, 100%. Women who never worked, who never lacked, who did not understand what money is, who their husband was the El Shaddai and everything. Those women, there are many of them. And we're not talking about that. We're talking about the fact that the average man, the average African man, not the new sets or the evil ones or the ones that are not responsible. The average African man is thinking every day of responsibilities in the house and how to pay all the bills. They're not thinking about it. So it's like a giving. The fact that it's a giving, the man would take care. If the man was the one earning 6 times, the woman will not even smell what responsibility should be for our own money. So why are we? Because the script is suddenly flipped. I was advising someone. We were having a conversation and she has money and she's in a relationship with someone that she's financially better off. And she said, so if I want to travel now, I will not have to buy business class business class tickets for him. Would it not mean that every time I want to travel, I have to buy his tickets? I said, men do this effortlessly for generations. Men buy your tickets, buy your family tickets. So why are you making it look like you are unable to do it? You have the financial capacity for a time like this. Do it and don't complain.
Oh, I love it. Thank you.
It's important
that's because I was even remembering my mother-in-law. You know, we recently were talking, and she was reminding me how my father-in-law did everything for her. Every single thing. Did shopping, her clothes, her shoes, she never used to do anything. She was just very pampered and kept. She was a kept woman. Now, as you said, men have been doing this. But have we ever asked them their own emotional well-being in doing those things? The strain on them. Yes, it's a God-given rule. I mean, the Bible says provide. But they also have those insecurities. They feel like their entire life
the only reason
has been taken from me. That I have my own dreams, but I have to suppress that because
no man suppresses their dream for a woman. No one.
But the family.
Majority of men follow their dreams. It's women that I know that sacrifice their dreams to be able to think of family. And when you're saying, hold on, and when you're saying he's paying and the woman is sitting there, so is the woman playing at home? If he had to pay, excuse me, if he had to pay the woman for nursing the children and giving him a home, don't you know how much you pay her? Listen now, everybody has their role. Everybody plays their role. So we should not applaud one more than the other for playing their role.
We're acknowledging.
So in this particular role now that we're talking about is providing. And we're saying if this man shows that you're going to be his priority, it's okay to open your books. If he shows that he's going to suffer you, carry your money and carry women, please do not open your books.
What I'm saying,
but you know, in that statement, they just agree that most men don't make sacrifices. Do you know how many men want to relax and be taken care of? If you ask the men out there right now, many of them, the career they are pursuing, and even the older ones,
do you know that?
Something, they wish that they did not work as hard. Why did they work so hard? Because they had responsibilities.
No, they work for their ego.
That's what you think.
They work for their ego.
I'll come to you, Ramatu. Aki, thanks for calling your live. Aki, you're live. Go ahead, please.
Good morning. Good morning, ladies.
Go ahead, you're live.
See, I like this your topic this morning. Okay. The having joint accounts is not a problem. It is very good. When you got married, biblically you are one. If a wife is earning 6 million and the husband is earning like 1 million or 1.5, there's nothing bad in her dropping 2 million in the joint account and having her own money as 4 million. And the husband can drop 1 million into the joint account. So there's nothing bad in that. That one that a woman is saying, my money is my money. My money. It's not that. You are building house together. You are building the house together. Building the future for the children. The joint account is very good. There's nothing bad. But even in the bank, they always set limits. Limits that fancy amount must be 2 of them or sign. But little amount, one, maybe the wife can be able to go there and withdraw that little amount anytime.
So the man will even
will not want the woman to take part in, running the home or all of this responsibility. A good man will not even allow that to happen. Because even when a woman decides to start doing all of these things, there's a way a woman carries herself. She'll become a bit disrespectful. We've seen a lot of women who they become a little bit, not all though, but most times they become disrespectful. And when they start taking care of bills in the home, there's a way a woman starts behaving. She starts to misbehave, and a man will definitely not want to take that. And somehow his ego will be, attacked somehow.
Well, the truth is that I think that's a narrative we've carried for many years, and I think one of the reasons we need to have. Remind ourselves that there are some women who do it honorably. They are humble. They are the ones driving the home, and nobody knows. They don't carry it on their head. They're not respectful. Lots of women are like that. Yeah. You have no clue. But it's always very convenient for men to say, is it because you're any more than me? That's why you're talking back to me. Because maybe any conversation she has now is because she's rude. Exactly. And I want us to go back to what Tokwe said. And I want to take that to Obiachulu, because what she's saying, as we said, that a man's responsibility naturally has been to provide for his family. Yeah. Now, in this situation, we are flipped where the woman is the one. Now, we're saying that, why are we questioning this new system where the woman is the one that's earning 6 million and she can afford a business class, and the man, and she's saying, because I can afford a business class, let me be the one to run things. Why are we now making it look as if, but why are we not recognizing that the man too also could have been earning 6 million and he has been holding this responsibility for many years? That, I don't even care 6 million. Do your business class, I do my business class, and he's been doing it, and nobody has asked him why. That he's doing it without even questioning the fact that he's suppressing his own personal desires and personal ambition for the family. Men do it over and over again. Our fathers did it.
Many.
Which of the ambitions did they suppress?
That's because we don't have
our men. Let's have.
Our men don't discuss.
Wait now. Let's have this conversation. Which of
they keep it to themselves?
Their desires did they suppress? Were they supposed to take up a job and they left it? Were they supposed to, buy fancy cars and they didn't buy? You will somebody. Hold on.
Some actually don't buy the fancy car because they need to send their children to the university.
Yes, you cannot buy fancy car when your children are looking for food.
Exactly.
That one is a given. Yes. No mother will see the children hungry and go and buy hair. So that's a given.
I understand.
Let's break it down. That's a given. So let's not say men are able to, or some men provide for their homes when they should have been doing other things. No, that means that man is not a responsible man. A responsible man understands his role in the home, which is to provide to his best of the ability. I'm not saying women should not give their husbands. I'm not saying women who have more should not spend more. That's not what I'm saying. But you will not spend it under a level of you have to take permission for everything that you spend.
Oh, yes.
No, hold on. You will spend it because you understand, you are doing it in love. I understand that I have more. And it doesn't matter, we're playing for the same team. Nobody should remind you to spend it. But when the conversation is not coming that, auntie, because I'm your head, you have to bring everything to my approval table before you move. That's where the problem is. Yes. Because now you take away, no, that's the topic now. We started from the beginning. No. Because you're taking away that woman's autonomy to be able to do other things, to also take care of her family, which you will not do in your own case.
Come back to do you know in some areas, in some homes, you don't need to take a permission. The man says, auntie, you're still spending money. Yes, the joint account. All he needs is, I am aware that you're buying hair, you're buying this, you're buying that. And he's telling you that, okay, this you're spending, take it, because remember, we're still going to buy that house. That house, you need to make a deposit to take it. So he's not asking for your permission. He's not asking you to come and take permission from him before you buy the hair. He's reminding you respectfully that, listen, we have a project that is coming. Be careful the way you're spending. So there's some homes. The reason why I'm trying to have this conversation, I don't want us to have one rule that fits everybody. There's some women who are actually comfortable and happy being cared for exclusively by their husband, who they have a joint account with. Yeah. And they're okay, and it's a good system that works for them.
I mean, I like to be
Let us also honor and respect those who believe that I don't have to have a joint account. Yes,
I'm going to go back and read.
Let me take Elizabeth from Abuja. Good morning, Elizabeth.
Good morning, lady of you.
Good morning, ma'am.
I love Tokwe too. Tokwe is looking beautiful. Now, back to this topic that is being on ground. I want to agree with Uju. Uju is making a lot of sense. I would say that man is a greedy husband from the first place. He wants to reap where he did not sow. Did he know from time that the woman was earning better than him? Why didn't he bring up the suggestion when they were about getting married to see her reaction? Number two, she is the breadwinner of her own family. I know by the time they choose to do that joint account, he will deprive her from so many things. Men are very trickish in nature. I want to talk to her if the woman is watching this program. She should not dare on her stand to say she wants to open a joint account. Men have defrauded their wives through this joint account, suffering, that will leave them stranded and follow another woman. This is Nigeria. I will say it outrightly. I've been married for 28 years. I've never had a joint account with my husband, and he has never asked of my salary. I only support from my own if I want to support. It's the responsibility of the man. The Bible says the man shall leave his father and his mother and be cleaved to his wife. Every responsibility, if the woman chooses to support, let her support. She's a helpmate. She is not going to do that joint account. The man is having a third party from outside that is advising him. How can your wife be any more than you and you are agreeing? So for me, my suggestion is that she should not. She should not. Thank you very much for standing on the ground.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma.
The same way we clamor, women clamor, that people should not take it for granted that she's nurturing the house. Don't take it for granted that I'm taking care of the children. It's my responsibility to nurture your children, to make your life comfortable. It's my responsibility to ensure there is food at home. Don't take it for granted. Acknowledge the fact that I'm responsible. That's the same way I'm saying acknowledge the responsible men. There are many of them. Acknowledge that they chose to be responsible because there are many that are not responsible. But and let's not use that the stories of bitterness to color the entirety of what we call marriage, because the truth is many of us are enjoying inside our marriage and we know we are enjoying. And so we should give people the grace to enter the marriage without the baggage of what they've heard from different people on social media. Many young people enter marriages now and they are carrying baggages. They are guns, they are ammunition ready to fire. You ask me for money, I will give you battle ready. You are entering marriage, man loves you, see you doing some things and feels like, okay, let me just advise you. Why don't we have a general?
And they are ready for fire.
You want to take mine, I am independent. You are not going to enjoy that marriage because you are entering that marriage to fight and we fight your way out. But we can choose to enter that marriage with a bit of vulnerability and openness to accept that, yes, this is what I expect from you. This is what I expect from you. This is what the responsibility should be. This is my deal breaker. I will not be happy if I am in this marriage and I'm feeling like I am working my life out and I cannot take care of my responsibilities. Let the conversations be had, but do not go in gun blazing that this is a battle. Marriage is not a battleground. And for some, it is a battle, you leave the battle. If you feel like you are in a marriage and it has become like every day we are fighting war, it's World War III, leave that space because that's not what it's meant to be.
Let me go on a very short break. When we come back, we'll take on comments on social media and calls. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right.
Host, I can tell you that being a parent is one of the biggest reality shows you will ever produce.
Hi. Oh, yeah. As cute as they can be, even you need to take a break to take care of some of the other realities of life. And that's why the TVC Staff Crash was put together to help parents just like me get those professional childcare services that they need. Come on, let's go. Let's go. The TVC Staff Crash Baby Lounge team of professionals are here to help take a load off your mind. The TVC Staff Crash is a nursing mom support system, a toddler's safe haven, and a young learner's academy throughout the year. It's comfortable, convenient, and with competitive pricing for the modern parent. So, while they learn through play, you can go about getting your pay. The TVC Staff Crash, open to the public from 7 a.m. till 6 p.m.
Do you think you can outplay me in this game of wits and knowledge? Can you go 7 rounds without flinching? I meant answering 7 questions correctly. How well can you hold your liquor? If you're curious, then join us for the most exciting conversation and games with your favorite celebrities on 7 of 7.
Welcome to Pure Entertainment. What would you like to order from our menu today? We have the regulars.
So let me go and for my jam results.
My 280 was 320. I suppose don't be one medical.
At this point, I contest my jam results.
I want to close the show.
I can go. I can.
Okay, that's all we can take. Eje, can you close the show, Father?
Ladies and gentlemen, number 1 unavailable by Davido featuring Musa Keys.
We also have today's chef special.
Yo, shine, 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 shiny, yeah. Say recap done, and it's time for number 1 on the countdown. One of Nigeria's hottest artists right now, his name is Rema, and this one is called Charm. Check it out.
Another.
For dessert and a bit of nightcap, we have the nighttime and online specials.
I want to start the gym, yeah? But do you know one thing that's actually keeping me back? You should start the gym to get getting fat.
Cricket.
She says she does pole dancing to empower women.
What's the difference? There's a difference.
That's what I'm saying.
So pole dancer, you're already almost naked. You're already almost naked.
No, it's the empowerment for me.
Sex can make your relationship better.
No.
Sex can never be overrated.
It is needed.
Especially when it's good sex too.
Almost every guy has been with somebody's girlfriend.
But they are for all of us now.
That's why you're still single.
I will not agree or disagree with that because I don't want to get into trouble. I have a home to go to.
Your next question.
Oh, you ready to fail?
Who is the better Jesus? What is his name?
That woman.
Bam! Bam!
Yeah, today we'll go here.
Hey.
Let's catch up now.
I'm sure we've been able to satisfy your cravings, yeah? Stay good. Entertainment with Pure Entertainment.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still discussing to have or not to have a joint account with your spouse. Let's take a few comments on social media.
Yes.
I have one from Otumba Karim. Says that, good morning, ladies. Joint accounts can simplify finances, but require communication, trust, and shared goals. For me, traditional roles work best, the husband leading financially.
Yeah, Hafsa says, but of course, greed and selfishness have taken over the world. That's the only reason a woman will marry a responsible man and not take care of him in return. Why? A Just Reason says, especially after the man has used all his years duly committing his money to the family, but when the water runs dry, the woman may become selfish, while any reaction is seen as a damaged ego. Andrew says there are different kinds of woman dictator in marriage: Adolf Hitler, Abacha, Saddam Hussein, and many others. So let me just add something, right? What saves us from some of these things? Because we really cannot tell how life would go. There are no absolutes. There are no, what's it called? There are no guarantees that you enter well and you will end well. We see life unveils and unravels as we move along it. Also according to the plan or the destiny or the path that we are supposed to tow in this life. There are people that will definitely have some certain kinds of experiences. No matter how good they are, it will come. That's just the path they are taking here, right? But what solves most of these issues is making sure that you marry a good partner. A partner who thinks about you. A partner who's not selfish, who's not all about himself and any other thing can scatter, any other thing can die as long as I'm satisfied. A partner who considers you. When you have a partner who considers you, whether you open your account or you don't open your account, what needs to be done needs to be done. If two of you put your family first, okay, we need money for so and so. Don't worry, I've sorted it. We need this one, no, I've sorted it. Nobody will know, like you rightly said, whether it's the woman that is bringing more of the money or the man that is bringing more of the money. Now, we advise that, like Dr. rightly said, marriage is not a battlefield. Go in with all vulnerability, but please go in with a little bit of wisdom. We've seen people, open your eyes. We've seen people who went in with all,
people change.
I love him.
People change.
It's just everything. They sold everything. In fact, they bought their wedding gown. They married themselves, as far as I'm concerned, did everything. And at the end of the day, there's somebody outside who is waiting to take your person from you, and then they eat all the money that they're collecting from you. They're giving it to somebody else. In that case, this person went in with all vulnerability.
I like what
so if you're raising children, you have some conversations with them. There are certain things you tell them, do this a bit, just to protect yourself in case. It doesn't mean you're hoping for the worst. But it means that if anything happens, you're not so shocked to the marrow that you find it difficult to recover.
I always tell people that the woman that you married, that was married in the 20s, it's different for the woman in her 30s. It's different for the woman in her 40s.
We change.
So we change. Life change. So all that flowery, sharing with 50. When you get to a certain stage in your life, you're like, you know what? I'm not doing this anymore. Because you want to make new rules. Like, these are the factors affecting our marriage. And it's both of you agreeing to this new change. Let me take this call from Yakub. I'll come to you, Ramatu. Yakub, thanks for calling. You have like 4 wives, huh?
Good morning.
Yakub, how many wives do we have? Is it still 2?
You want to put me on outfit, Daddy.
Okay.
Anyway, I have one for now. You know, I always say that I have one for now.
Oh, I thought it was fun. Go ahead.
Yeah. For me, I totally agree with Obi. And then I have my reason for saying that. Doesn't mean it's because the woman is earning more. That's why the suggestion of having a joint account come into place. Because I believe the money that the woman is earning is her money. My money is my money. My money is also her money as well. Because my primary responsibility is that to provide for the family. But in case, a situation whereby I cannot be able to do at some time, she will definitely do that. And then nobody will know who do what, who does this, who does that, because we don't expose our family to know, to some people that know that this woman is earning than me or than her. So basically for me, I totally disagree with that. Don't have those accounts because you do so. What of this if you want to cater for your mother or want to cater for your siblings? So you will not need to come and meet me that, sir, please, I needed money. Because, and then you earn this money, so I need to give you priority or give you go ahead before you can take care of your father or your mother. So our money is our money. My money is also her money. So because it's my primary responsibility to cater for home. But if I don't, if maybe if I venture at a point, I'm unable to do that. And then she knows that she's earning more than me. So I don't even need to tell her to do it before she go ahead and do whatever I need her to do. So that is my own point. Thank you and God bless you guys.
Ramatu?
Okay, so I have, they said, Corey Michael said, but why should a wife be the breadwinner for her family? A man, woman will leave their mother and father and become one. I think we are confused what marriage is. Then another person said...
He's not the breadwinner. He said what he's earning is good. It's just that she ranks higher
She
and she earns more.
And that's why there should be a joint account.
See, there's something that I wish my mom made me do. It's my money. My parents felt, I started working really early and I was earning very well very early. So they did not they didn't put any control on what I could do with my money. And I was just spending as I felt like. I wished they gave me a bit of boundary. I wished my mom insisted I bought a plot of land in Ikorodu beside her own. When she bought that land, I had the exact money to buy the land that she bought. And I could have bought it, she advised me. I was a young 20-something-year-old. I could have bought it. She could have insisted. I would have felt that she's domineering. I would have looked at it that, why is she putting her eye into my money? You said I should go and hustle, and I've hustled and I'm making money. But I used my money anyhow. And I don't have that land that is appreciated now. There are some times that I wish someone would take, it might feel a bit uncomfortable when they tell you, stop the spending. Why don't we put this money into house? You say it's out of selfish interest, but the man could have seen something in how she's spending the money or how she's not planning for the future. Let's not make an assumption that the advice came from a place of, I want to chop your money, I want to spend your money. It might be from a place of, I feel you can manage this money better. Give it a good perspective until you are proven wrong.
Yeah, stop taking care of your
family. We have to wrap up on this because we have to bring in our guests. But I think really I'd like to end in I think I've already read this from engineer Tijani PhD. He says, apart from the holy books, there is no other manual in marriage. One man's meat is another man's poison. If there is love, trust, and mutual understanding between a couple, there is no boundary if they both mutually agreed to operating such an account. It is fear of insecurity that brings issues like this to the fore. However, marriage is a contract, and as long as both parties agree on having equal access to the account, I don't think there's any harm in it. So there are some people that don't think there's any harm in joint account. I don't think there's any harm in it. It is the kind of society that we've built around ourselves that made suspicion a part of this whole thing. However, if we return to our fundamentals of marriage, this may not be an issue. Love, trust, mutual understanding is key. So there are some people that agree in that joint account, and there are others. I know my mother didn't have a joint account with anybody. She had her own money, and the time she was having, her marriage was like a battleground for her. And I think it was her father that said, Auntie, you better go and be independent, find yourself. And he was able to help her build her business through connections and everything. And she was able to get and have a business on her own to the point where she built her own house. And my father, who was not, he came to live in the house that
So what if your mother did not have a father who would help her like that?
Exactly.
And when what happened, she would have been on the street, probably begging one family member or the other, and then ridiculing. I'm just a good God, but there are people experiencing it today.
Yes, it's not still a good God. Yes, Apapa, it was your mother that advised you. But you can't do joint account with somebody that everybody can go their separate ways at any point in time.
Our guests, but let's go on a short. But I think in a nutshell, really, do what suits you.
Yeah, what works
for you. And also, but as you are doing what suits you and what works for you, know that seasons change. As it's working for you, start doing small tests to know. Because when you're getting to your 30s, you're getting to your 40s, you're getting to your 50s, things are different. So you adjust per time. That's all we can take on this segment. We'll come back, bring in our guests who will be sharing her story with us. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back.
What would you like to order from our menu today? We have the regulars.
So let me go and look for my jam results.
My 280 was 320. I suppose don't be one medical.
At this point, I contest my jam results.
I want to close the show.
I can go.
That's all we can take. Ejeki, close the show, G. Fadala.
Ladies and gentlemen, #1 unavailable by Davido featuring Musa Keys.
We also have today's chef special.
Yo, shine, shiny, yeah. Say recap done, and it's time for #1 on the countdown. One of Nigeria's hottest artists right now, his name is Rema, and this one is called Charm. Kick it.
For dessert and a bit of nightcap, we have the nighttime and online specials.
I want to start the gym, yeah? But do you know one thing that's actually keeping me back? You should start the gym to get fat. Cricket.
She says she does pole dancing to empower women.
What's the difference?
There's a difference.
That's what I'm saying. So pole dancer, you're already almost naked. You're already almost naked.
No, it's the empowerment for me.
Sex can make your relationship better.
No.
Sex can never be overrated.
It is needed.
Especially when it's good sex too. Almost every guy has been with somebody's girlfriend.
But they are for all of us now.
That's why you're still single.
I would not agree or disagree with that because I don't want to get into trouble. I have a home to go to.
Your next question.
Oh, you ready to fail?
Who is the person you see? What is his name?
That woman.
Bam! Bam!
Yeah, today we'll go here.
Hey!
Let's catch up now.
I'm sure we've been able to satisfy your cravings, yeah?
Host, I can tell you that being a parent is one of the biggest reality shows you will ever produce. Hi. Oh, yeah. As cute as they can be, even you need to take a break to take care of some of the other realities of life. And that's why the TVC Staff Crash was put together to help parents just like me get those professional childcare services that we need. Come on, let's go, let's go. The TVC Staff Crash Baby Lounge team of professionals are here to help take a load off your mind. The TVC Staff Crash is a nursing mom support system, a toddler's safe haven, and a young learner's academy throughout the year. It's comfortable, convenient, and with competitive pricing for the modern parent. So, while they learn through play, you can go about getting your pay. The TVC Staff Crash, open to the public from 7 a.m. till 6 p.m.
Do you think you can outplay me in this game of wits and knowledge? Can you go 7 rounds without flinching? I meant answering 7 questions correctly. How well can you hold your liquor? If you're curious, then join us for the most exciting conversation and games with your favorite celebrities on 7 of 7.
Thanks for staying with us. On this segment, we'll be speaking about widowhood, the state of period where a widow in our climb, in the studio with us, is somebody who will be sharing her experience as a widow before and after she lost her spouse. Welcome with us, Bimbola Osagi, to the show.
Hi, guys. Hi. Thank you for having me.
Good to have you on the show. We hardly discuss the plight of widows, especially because there's a life after. Yeah. You know? And people just forget that, okay, yes, they are moving on, but there's a lot of emotions, a lot of factors that makes them who they are today. So we'd like you to share with us your story so that people who are listening to you today can learn from your story. But let us start from the before, and then what happened afterwards and how you're coping.
Yeah, okay, I'm looking at it. So my name is Bimbala Sage. I actually live in the UK. I'm a property entrepreneur. My husband passed 2 years ago, so October 2022. We met in university, so I can say he's the husband of my youth. We had such a great relationship. We had a great marriage. We have 4 children. Wow. I know.
Wow, in the UK.
Yeah, in the UK, right? We've got 4 children. We had a great relationship. We really had a good marriage. I mean, I don't think anyone would say their marriage is perfect, but we had a good thing going. We understood each other. Our kids were quite young, so we're very hands-on. He was quite hands-on as well. And I think even in terms of where we were financially, I had just stopped working full-time. I was into property as an entrepreneur. He was also an entrepreneur. He worked on his own business, and he also worked in Nigeria as well. So, you know, income-wise, we were good. Children, everything was fine. You know, we were having fun. You know, it was literally at that stage when you feel like you've left some of the struggles and you're just about to. You're just waiting for things to just go in a really good dimension. And this was just post-COVID. And one of the things that COVID either broke relationships or made relationships sweeter or stronger. So I think we were one of those where COVID just being together made us stronger. So it was a really good place to be. And then all of a sudden, death snatched Steve away from us. And I use the word snatch because my husband didn't have any ailment. He wasn't sick. He didn't even have a headache, cold. He just went to bed healthy and didn't wake up.
You gotta be kidding us. Really?
No health condition whatsoever in the UK.
So what did they say will cause of death?
Okay, so I'll come to that. So actually what happened was that around the time that he passed, his dad was actually the one in the hospital. He wasn't feeling well. So my husband had gone over to stay with them because dad was in the hospital, mom was going back and forth. It was a bit stressful. So he said to me one Friday, look, let me go, stay with them for the weekend, and I'll come back. So that was it. So he stayed. And then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, he would call in, you know, dad was still in the hospital, about to be discharged. Mom was feeling much better. And we were just waiting for dad to be discharged so my husband can come back home. And then Thursday morning, called him, didn't get hold of him the whole day. And apparently he died on that Thursday, 6th of October, 2022. And so what had happened was he went to bed on Wednesday night. I spoke to him. Mom, you know, his mom was in the house. His mom spoke to him. He went to bed. And then by morning time, mom was wondering why Steve hadn't woken up to check on her. So she went to check on him, and alas, he was gone. Just like that. Well, I didn't know this was happening because I was at home, kids were in school. I was just running around doing my business for the day. I'd called him earlier, no response. So I just thought, it's one of those things. In fact, I was ready for him. I was like, when I speak to him this afternoon, I'm going to tell him off for not picking up the call, blah, blah, blah. Then I remember that, dad, let me call dad in the morning, check that dad was okay in the hospital. I did. I realized that mom had called me. I missed the call. So I thought, let me call mommy back and then I can ask, where is Steve now? I haven't heard from him. So I called mommy and one of his uncles picked up the phone. And the first thing uncle said was, where are you? And I thought that was weird because I expect mommy to pick up the phone. Yeah. I'm looking for Steve. And then uncle is telling me where I was. I'm like, I said, where am I? I'm working. Where's mommy? And then he said, mommy is fine. And then in that moment, I now realized, actually, I was speaking to dad. They said mommy is fine, but nobody has mentioned Steve. So I said, please, where is Steve? And then uncle panicked. I could hear the panic in the phone, and then he dropped. So I called back. So when I called back, he picked up, and he said, where are you? Are you on your way? And now what had happened was I'd never experienced death prior to this. My grandmom, only one grandmom had passed, and it was a long time ago. So I didn't know, but I remember one of my friends told me that when her parents died and they called her, they kept saying, where are you? Are you on your way? Where are you? So I just remember that story, and I thought to myself, this doesn't sound good. Yeah. So anyway, I dropped the phone. As soon as I dropped the phone, another call came through, and it was from Steve's cousin that lived in America. And he said, hi. He said, hey, Bimbo, is it true?
Oh, yeah.
At this point, I've not heard anything. I still don't know what's going on. All I know is, where are you? Is it true? And then people are dropping the phone on me. So I then, in that moment, I was actually in the store. I just thought to myself, something doesn't sound or seem right. So I called my husband's brother, my brother-in-law, who was also based in the States. And I said, and I picked up the phone. So I said, hi. As soon as he picked up the phone, he was like, where are you? I'm like, okay, look, guys.
This has got to stop.
This has got to stop. Stop asking me where am I. What is going on? And I don't know, out of nowhere, I just said to my brother-in-law, is Steve okay or is Steve dead? I said something that was even out of character for me to say. And in that moment, he said to me, I noticed his voice changed, like he was crying. And then he said, I don't know, it's not responsive, but is at home. And then I said, I think that this was when I said, oh, is he dead? He said, no, I don't know. It's not responsive, but he's at home. So in that moment, I'm thinking, okay, maybe he left in the morning to work. Maybe he got in an accident. Maybe it's in a coma. Like, I'm just thinking all these things that obviously doesn't make sense, but there was nothing making sense, really. So when he got off the phone, in fact, I said to him, look, I'm going to make my way, but I just don't know what's going on, but I'm going to make my way. So as I got off the phone, I called my mom and my sister. And I said to my sister, in fact, I think I did like a joint call, and I said, I don't know what's going on. I'm calling Steve, I can't get hold of him. I've called the house. Everyone is asking me where am I, what's going on? And they said they would come with me. Anyway, this journey that would have been maybe like 40 minutes at the most took, for me, it felt like it took 3 hours. Because I'm on the way now, I'm calling my friends. So I called a couple of my friends and said, God, pray for my Steve. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, got to the place, to the house. As I walked in, the paramedics were there. Steve was already on the floor in a body bag, zipped up to here. All I could see is just his face, and he was on the floor. And the paramedics were like, we gotta go. So apparently he'd been dead probably in the night. So it's been so many hours of them waiting for me to come. I got there and I thought to myself, let me pray for him. So I put my hand on his forehead and it was ice cold. It was cold. And in that moment, I just thought, wow, like this is what happens when someone dies. So that's how I discovered that my husband passed in his sleep. He was in the house. And then, after the autopsy was done, they did the initial autopsy. They couldn't really find anything. They had to ask our permission to take certain parts of his body to go and do investigation. And then they came back weeks later, and the report still doesn't make sense to me till today, because it still doesn't make sense. There really isn't anything in particular. But one thing that they did say, something pulmonary thrombosis, which doesn't even make sense, because everything in the report doesn't align to the conclusion. I just felt like God called him home. And I think that's how I made peace with it. Like, God called him home. There was nothing medically wrong with him. But it's very tragic because, like I said, if he was ill, if he had an issue, a condition, it would have been, I don't think it's better, but
brings the
winding
down.
I think so, yeah. But just one day I spoke to him, the next day he was gone.
Right.
And even till tomorrow, sometimes I just sit down and think to myself, like, is this actually true? Like, I just shake my head. I'm like, is this actually true?
How did you navigate that time? What sort of family support did you have? How did you bring the conversation to your children? How was it that period?
Yeah, the hardest thing was to break it to the kids. Fortunately, unfortunately, the day, because of this person that my husband was, he was quite known in the social media space and in the entertainment space. So a blogger picked it up on that day. So before we could even blink and say what's going on, everybody knew, and I was still at my in-laws' house and my kids were home. And I'm thinking, my son had a mobile phone, and I'm like, I need to get home before he sees this thing on social media. So breaking it to them was obviously the worst thing that has happened to me, because even till now, I see pictures of me grabbing them as they walk through the door, drag them up to our bedroom upstairs, and they're like, what's going on? Where's God? Where's God? Is Daddy okay? Is Mommy, like, we're just saying, is everybody okay? And they said, oh, is Granddad okay? I said, Granddad is fine, actually. Is Grandma okay? I'm like, Grandma is fine. Oh, so where's Daddy? And just happened to tell them that Daddy is not, I said to them, Daddy is not okay, he died. Because I didn't even know how to break it. I didn't know what words to use. I just literally said, Daddy is not okay, he died. Now I have a 4-year-old daughter who probably is thinking, what does that even mean? And I had a 6-year-old. And then the older two were just, 14, 13 actually. In fact, 12, 11, 6 and 4. And when I uttered those words, he died. All I could hear was a loud scream from the older two. They just screamed so loudly, and it was literally the beginning of the end for that was the toughest thing for me, telling the kids.
I know one of the reasons why we invited you to share the story is because widowhood is never easy, especially afterwards. In this, I know you live in the UK, so I'm assuming probably the system sort of works to support you somewhat. But here, as a widow, a woman always has to have to deal with family issues, inheritance issues, who owns what, drama here and there. Did you have any of that kind of experience on your end, and how were you able to navigate?
Yeah, so I wouldn't say being in the UK makes it any different, because at the end of the day, we're Nigerians. And I think what it is even though we were in the UK, there's the expectation that because we're of Nigerian heritage, we know the custom. So that was actually one of my challenge. I left Nigeria after secondary school. Like literally, as I finished secondary school, my WIDOWHOOD, maybe like 2 weeks, a month later, I was shipped to the UK. So I actually don't know a lot of the cultural stuff because we're not really raised that way. So even to say, people will say, oh, you don't do this, you don't do that. I'm like, I don't know. So there's an expectation that I know these things, right? So I think for me, one of so I'll have to start by saying that my immediate family's husband were really good. They were very protective of me. So there may have been things that happened in that they covered for me, and I think that's definitely the case. But even there's certain things, even around how I conducted myself during that time. So one of the biggest one was, I wanted us to do like a celebration of life and wear color, bright and colorful, because my husband is very colorful. And there was this talk, you have to wear black. And when I thought, I don't want to wear black, and I thought they would just leave me alone, it became a big deal in the family. You have to wear black, to the point where I was almost told that I was causing division. I'm like, I'm the widow here, so something like wearing black. And then even the way I conducted myself, I'm naturally a very joyful person. My husband too we're exactly the same. He's louder, but at least we're very bubbly, But so having to, it's almost like I was having to say, do I carry on being myself, being this bubbly person, even though I'm going through this loss, or do I wear a look to satisfy what people and to sit? So, that was hard.
This kind of conversation, I think something trended on social media, and I know we discussed about grieving and how people expect there's a way you should grieve.
Yeah.
And if you don't grieve the way they expect you to grieve, they look at you like you are not grieving, even though you probably have you're dealing with maybe even much more than any other person that is just experienced the same loss. So I guess that was one of the things you had to combat.
Definitely.
How to grieve in a way they would accept that you are grieving. Yeah. But I want to ask about the children, because you mentioned breaking the story to them, and many, like Brian said, we really don't talk about widowhood as such. It's something that we just pray, it never happens, though, it never happens, and then we just move on. But what support have you had in raising those children over the past 2 years? And what support would you say would have been more impactful in helping you to navigate that season better?
Yeah. So I have to say I've been so blessed. I cannot lie. I've been so blessed. God has blessed us with such amazing friends and family. So we've had lots of support. I mean, right from the day this happened till even now, people would come, stay over, take my kids to school. My friends organized for them to go on the school bus, paid for it. Another friend organized me to have a staff member to work for me, just so that I can have the headspace to do other things. Food was constant in our home, as in to the point where I had to say to one of my friends, is this usually what happens when somebody loses somebody? They said, no, it's not like that too. You people are just blessed. So my friends, my mom, my sister, my family, my in-laws have been amazing in terms of the support. I have friends where before I pick up the phone to say they are actually dropping their own things. So for me, it humbles me a lot, because they drop their own plans just to accommodate and to suit us. And I think it's a testament to our lives and my husband's life and how he's impacted people. So in terms of support, we've had the best support. I feel like I'm going to put them on blast. The one I wish we could have had more of is, so when I talked to you about when there was a family issue about wear black, wear this, wear, but where I've had the most challenges, I would have thought that they would give more support. So people are very quick, or extended family, husband's family, they're very quick to tell you, what to do and what not to do, but I've not seen their brake lights. So yeah, it's interesting.
I don't know. Can you explain the pain? Or do you sometimes go through, like, for example, sometimes do you go through regrets? I would have done this better. Maybe if I was alive, I would have done this. Do you regret some things? Like, you think back?
Yeah. So one of the things that I've learned now, I won't call it regret, so to speak, but I think it's a learning point, is now I appreciate who I have and what I have and every day that I have more. Because the way Steve died, like one day we were okay, next day it was gone. So, and I know that, and also I've heard so many stories after Steve passed, people that are here and the next day their spouses just die, both male and female. So I think one of the things that I'm learning is to appreciate every single day, live in the moment. I'm always very like, oh, what we're doing this tomorrow, we're doing this next week. It's like, now, live in the moment. When it comes to regret, another thing that I remember is this. So before, Steve passed on a Sunday. Sorry, on a Thursday. On the Sunday, he came home from his parents' house because he had to take the kids to football. And when he came, he said, look, I thought I was going to be back home on Sunday, but I think I'm going to need a couple more days with mom. Let me grab my laptop. Let me grab a few things. That particular day when he came, I was on Zoom call. So I was there, you know how it is now, just on Zoom. I was talking. And then when I finished the call, he said he was leaving. I'm like, oh, I thought you were still saying. He said, no, I need to go. Until tomorrow, I still think, wow, I wish I had that time with him. But I also try not to allow that regret to take over me, because that's how we lived anyway. We were always on the phone. He was always on the phone because I had lots of businesses. I was always so. But that's something I wish I had more time with.
Here, because I always try to understand the UK factor versus Nigeria factor, because you have 4 kids. The Nigerian widow is thinking, how am I going to pay school fees? How am I going to sort out my children's welfare? How am I going to just have a family? I don't see their brake lights, and the entire burden is practically on the widow. But for somebody living in the UK, maybe school is free, the kids are getting, you know, the system works such that you don't have to worry about school fees, you don't have to worry about certain things, you know, the system works. How would you say the future is looking when you have 4 kids having to raise them?
So first of all, my kids are actually in fee-paying school, all 4 of them. So I don't have free, well, I have the option of free schooling, but that's not what we opted for. So the burden of those fees are still very much on me, 2 years on. Now, what has helped, and this is something that I do so my life was before the death was being a property entrepreneur. So I talk to women talk to people generally about income, making money and all that stuff. So one of the things I'm very keyed into is property, having investments. So what has helped is those investments. Is all the things that Steve and I had worked together to build. Those are the things that help. But it's still a burden, because I always say 2-income household has now become 1-income household. So even when I have friends that are complaining that they don't have money or things are tight, I'm looking at them like, but you have 2 people that can work and make money. It's just one of me. Do you understand? So unless my situation changes, I'm always going to be a 1-income household. So the bills are still there. Source of, you know, living expenses have gone up all over the world. It is still affecting even in the UK. So I don't think that is so much different. Of course, the system works, but those bills, those burden, financial burden, is still there. You know, and unless you have the support from other people, I have to carry, and that's literally my story.
So I'm grateful that you have. You were able to. You're able to tell the story from seemingly a place of healing, like there's a journey of healing. You're able to tell the story, and I know you wrote a book that is also shedding light on this journey. And what is the impact you want to have with this book? What lessons do you want people to get from this story?
Yeah. So I started to write a journal as my own therapy, right? So I would write what I'm feeling, I write what I'm thinking, and then I was also writing the things that God was telling me. So I'm a Christian, and I very much believe in the Word of God. I very much believe in God, you know. But I find that throughout this journey, I've really seen God work so much, to the point where I don't know people that don't have God. I don't know how they cope, you know. So the Word of God that I used to just read, you know, you just read some scriptures and move on. They've become so real to me. You know, the Lord says, I will never leave you nor forsake you. I will comfort you. I will be the father to the fatherless. I will be your helper, your advocate, your counselor. I will be your provider. All of those things are coming to life in my life. So what I would want to, the story or the message I always want to pass on is, obviously, it's not just the loss of a spouse. It could be loss of a child, of a dream, of identity. It could be any kind of loss, of a parent. It's during those dark moments, is allowing God to be God in your life. And sometimes it's not just God sending scriptures. It can use people. I had lots of people, and if I didn't open my heart or my home to those people, I wouldn't receive the help. Because it's very easy to also close away from people. In fact, sometimes that's what I wanted to do, honestly. A lot of the time, I just wanted to just stay in my house, close my door, close my window, cry. And sometimes I would have planned it. As in, this is what I'm doing today. When the kids go to school, I'm going to do this. And then God will send somebody. A phone call would come. Somebody will come unexpectedly to my door. And I'm like, oh, God, I just want to cry. But I just also appreciated that God was taking care of me. So God is real. And I feel like he's even more real when you're in your darkest moments. And that's not the time to run away from God. That's the time to run to God. And that's what really the book of my journey has been. It's been very challenging. But I also say, because it will be a lie for me not to say that, even in this time, I've had some really good times as well. I've had some really, really good and positive times where I feel so much loved by God. I feel so much loved by people. I feel so much loved by my family, and I'm so grateful for that. And the burden, so one of the things, I don't know what the future holds, because I'm like, I don't even want to plan anymore, because all the planning that we did, everything just went. But I also am confident in the fact that there's a good future for me. So it makes me excited about every day, despite, and I always say that I use one eye to cry, but I also use one eye to be very alert, because I have 4 children to feed. I have 4 lives in my hands. I have a business. I have people, even as a leader in my church, I have people that are also looking up to me. So it's not going to be all tears, even though that's how I feel. I'm going to allow God to use me.
So how do you cope with not having him to talk to, not having him to rest your head on, not having him to gossip with? Do you sometimes sit and you feel like maybe he's around? You feel like a presence?
I don't feel the presence.
How do you feel about not having him around you?
So first of all, I'm a woman rapper. I'm a man rapper. I have to just say I'm very much in love with my Steve. Everyone that knew me just Steve. So and I'm a person that likes intimacy, physical touch. I hug, I kiss. I'm always, always doing all sorts of different things. So I miss that so much. And because I miss, and I know that's the kind of person I am, I used to say, I still say that at the beginning. I started saying it very early on that I am going to marry again. Despite all the side eyes that I get from older ones and younger, even my friends, some of my friends. But I've been telling them, because I'm like, I'm not going to be like this. Because I need that attention. I need that companionship. I need, there were just so many things that...
And it's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. But the thing is, the truth of the matter is, sometimes people just don't think it's okay. So most of my close friends now are okay with that. And even if they're not okay, they're not telling me. But we have the ones that tell me, and they say, no, you have to wait 5 years. And I'm like, are you kidding me? And everyone that said that, they're married. So I'm like, you go to your husband, and then you want me to be here and get a hug. So I miss that so much. So much.
So what, we have to wrap up. What's your final message to a new widow who just lost her spouse or his wife and just needs some kind of comfort from you? What would you tell the person?
So first of all, I would say that your need or your desire to have somebody, it's okay. It's okay, because we're created to be in relationship. I would say that allow people to help you, because God sometimes is not going to come out from heaven. He's going to use people, so be open to help. I would say, and this doesn't even have to do with widowhood, just even now, everybody that is married, have your own money or know how to make money. Just like we were talking in the earlier, you guys were talking, because a situation might arise where you might find that the breadwinner is gone. How do you get up? So have something. And even if you don't have anything, start now. Because nobody knows what life will throw at us. We need to know how to make our own money. So, and then just know that God, even in the midst of the crisis, God is there and God is present and He loves you.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Amazing.
Speaking
Thank you
with
for sharing.
Imbola Osage.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Wishing you the best.
Thank you.
That's all we can take on today's show. Hope you learned a few things as we have. Have a great day. See you tomorrow. Bye for now.
The following is a paid presentation by ShopX TV. At ShopX TV.